Hi guys, I'm going to take you through a yoga flow for tight hips and finding space and strength through them. So when you're ready, if you want to join me, finding a cross-legged position just on the ground. Doesn't matter which leg's in front, just giving the hips a little shake. I want you to feel the sit bones connect down to the ground. And roll the shoulders to open up the chest, maybe shaking the head. We're going to take our right hand down to the floor and our left arm's going to reach up and over. Now I want you to start to reach that right arm as far out as you can. Try not to let that left hip or the knee lift up. We want to think about pushing the knee down and lifting the left arm up. When you're ready, we're going to take it all the way up and over to the opposite side. So that right arm is finding that reach and that right knee is pressing down. We're getting really deep into the hip whilst also pulling through that rib cage. If it helps, again, reach the hand that little bit further. Inhale straight away to that second side. Exhale to stretch. Reaching the hand. This time we're going to start to lift the knee and plant the foot on the ground. Changing over, we're finding that rock through the body. Lift the knee and plant the foot. So this time it's less of a stretch and more of a rock through the glutes. One more time like this, and then we're going to add the final layer to this little section. On your next one, we're going to take that lift of the hips as we push into that front shin, pressing all the way up, feeling that nice big stretch to that left hip here. Exhale to drop, changing over, hands down. Drive the hips up, push into that left shin. Exhale, drop. Give me one more time on each side, finding that press forwards. Exhale to drop. And your last one here, all the way up, all the way down, coming back to center, taking the hands back behind you as you bring your feet out in front of you. Wider than the hips, we're just going to take that gentle rock side to side, finding the mobility in the hips and into that lower back. So we're finding that little gentle twist through the spine, allowing the chest to stay lifted. We don't want to drop here. We want to keep that spine long, opening up through the collarbones and through the heart space. When you're ready, taking both legs out in front of you, flex the toes and find that push through the thighs in towards the ground. Taking a nice big inhale as we lift up and a big exhale to find that forward fold. Be kind to your body here. It doesn't need to hit a flat back position. I want you to be somewhere that you feel the stretch and you're able to soften into it a little bit more. Finding that nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel the head draw you deeper in towards the legs. And allow the space through the pelvis and the back of the spine to lengthen that a little bit further forwards. If it feels good, maybe you start to walk the hands a little bit towards the toes further. Keeping that breath soft through the body. Focusing on that exhale through the mouth. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1, slowly rolling all the way up. We're going to swing those legs back behind us. Taking the hands underneath the hips. Give the hips a quick little wiggle, and then when you're ready, we're going to press all the way up in towards our downward dog position. Taking the heels down towards the ground, the sit bones up towards the sky, and maybe shake the head to release any tension in the neck here. Bring the big toes towards each other, so we're squeezing the inner thighs tight and the glutes nice and pulled up. We're going to take a big step with that right foot, allow that left knee to drop. Taking both hands on the inside of that front leg, we're going to heel toe that right foot just to the side of your mat, so you're going to feel a little bit more open through the hips. Taking your right hand to the top of the knee, we're gently going to press and find that open space in this lizard pose. So we're creating more of a stretch through the inner thigh and the top of the hip here, pulling back through the chest as we open up that body. Inhale, bring everything back to center. Exhale, open up through that hip. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, open. One more time. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale to open. Coming all the way back in, heel toe that foot underneath you. We're going to take a push through the arms as we lift the back knee and send the bum up towards the sky, aiming for 2 straight legs. Please don't worry if those legs aren't straight. You can always bend that back knee if that feels better. Exhale, bending the front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. So you've got 2 breaths for each pose. Inhale to lift the body, push through the hands. Exhale to drop into that stretch. Back knee can bend if need be. Inhale to lift through the body. Exhale to drop into that front hip. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to lift. Exhale, drop that knee all the way back down. We're going to take both hands high above the head and finding that lift up. We want to lift away from the ground, but allowing the hips to drop here. Interlace the fingers. We're going to take the hands behind the head and allow the head to fall heavy back into the hands. This is going to help open up through that left side this time, through the hip flexor, all the way down through that left quad. Keeping the press through the right foot and that big toe as we allow that head to soften that little bit more. For 3, for 2, for 1, lifting back to the top, place both hands down. Tuck the toes, step back to your plank position and lifting the hips all the way back to your downward dog. Maybe give them a little shake here if that feels right. Maybe pad through the feet, whatever you need. When you're ready, we're going to step that left foot forwards, nice big lunge. Drop the back knee. Both hands on the inside of the left foot as we heel toe that left foot just to the side of the mat. Taking your left hand towards the knee as we gently press open through that left hip. Pulling the chest back away from the knee on that diagonal, finding that nice big stretch. Inhale, bring everything back to center. Exhale, find that press, find the stretch. Inhale, bring everything back in. One more time here. Exhale, find that stretch. Find the drop of the hips a little bit deeper. And all the way back to center. Slowly heel toe that knee back into that center point. And find that push through the arms. We're going to lift that back thigh and start to send the hips high. Stretching out that left leg. Remember, if you need to, bend the back knee. Exhale into that stretch. Inhale to lift the body. Exhale to bend the front knee. Inhale to lift. Sit hips high. Exhale to stretch. Head towards the shin. Inhale to lift. Exhale to open up the hips. Inhale to lift. Exhale, stretch out the hamstring. Your last one, inhale to lift. Exhale to drop the back knee down. Taking both arms above the head, you want to find that lift. Think about the rib cage pulling away from the hip flexors. Finding the drop through the hips forwards, we're going to interlace the hands and place behind the neck. Now allowing the head to drop into the hands, nice and heavy. No tension in the neck and chest here. Feel that big stretch. Find that press forwards with the hips and the drop back through the head. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1. Lovely, guys. Bringing both hands down. Tuck the back toes. Lift the thigh. Stepping back to your plank. Squeeze the core in tight as we lift back to that downward dog. We're slowly going to drop the knees down and lift into your tabletop. Give the hips a little shake side to side. Beautiful, guys. We're going to take that right leg out, finding that long leg. Now, if you're quite flexible, you might want to shift your weight over right into the center. If you feel a little bit tighter in the hips, I want you to keep it right on top of that left shin. So wherever you are, we're going to take a deep inhale And on the exhale, we're going to send the bum back towards that left foot or towards the ground. Feeling that nice big inner thigh stretch here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to send it back. Now we want to make sure that pelvis stays equal as we're doing this move. So we're not allowing it to open up and we're not allowing it to drop in. So we're really being strong with that pelvis and those glute muscles to find that inner thigh stretch, to find space in the inside of those hips. On your last one, I want you to hold it back wherever you are, as low as you can. Maybe if you're a little bit further into the center, you come down onto the elbows here to drop for that stretch. Keep that breath flowing through the body. Maybe it helps to close the eyes or soften the focus here. Taking that deep inhale in and that big exhale out. Lovely. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly lifting all the way back onto the hands. Bringing both knees back underneath you. Just give the hips a little shake. Ready for that second side. So we're going to take that left leg out to the side this time. Remember, if you need to bring it over, if you're more flexible, if you want to stay on top, that's absolutely fine. On that exhale, drop the hips all the way down. Inhale to lift. Really thinking about that core squeezing up and in, so we're not arching through that back. We want to keep those glutes engaged. We want to stay strong through those hips. Don't let them open. Don't let them drop. You want to stay right in that neutral position. So we're not tucking, we're not pushing our pelvis back, and we're not tucking under. You want to find that neutral pelvis, tailbone under, squeezing through the core. Lovely, guys. When you're ready, coming all the way back to your center point, all the way down, finding that press as low as you can, that final one. You're holding that deep stretch. Maybe you come onto the elbows if you're further down, or maybe you hold it on the hands wherever you are. Focus on the breath. The inhale in the nose and the exhale through the mouth. Lovely. For 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly lifting back onto the hands. Bring the knees underneath you and give those hips a shake. Your final one here, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips high. Walking both feet in towards the hands, finding your halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the earth, bend the knees. Inhale, rolling up, hands high above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Squeeze the inner thighs together, make sure those big toes are touching. I want you to bring your weight forwards into those toes. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs as much as we can as we send our bum back in towards our chair pose. Wrapping the inner thighs tight, pushing through the big toe and pulling our bum back behind us. Maybe you extend the arms. I really want you to think of the squeeze that's happening through the glutes. Strong through the hips again. We're not allowing them to be weak. We want to find that power in the legs, that lift through the hamstrings, so we can drop a little bit lower and hold that little bit longer through the body. Finding that continuous flow of the breath as we find that press towards the ground, that lift through the core and the reach all the way through those fingertips. Breathing here for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, hands down. Step the knees towards the ground as we come onto our butts. We're going to find our butterfly pose to finish. So the soles of the feet are touching and the knees are nice and wide. Just give the hips a little shake. Taking the hands towards the ankles of the feet. Roll the shoulders and lift the heart high. Finding that breath, we're slowly going to allow that chest to fold all the way over. Forehead towards the toes. Maybe the hands reach out in front of you if that feels good. Taking a deep inhale. And a big exhale, pull the elbows forwards towards the floor. Finding the space through the back here. Really bringing that focus in towards those hips. And I want you to allow them to soften. Allow them to be gentle in your body. Allowing the knees to fall wide. And allowing the chest to fall forwards. Keeping that breath flowing all the way through the body here. Slowly, when you are ready, walking both hands back in towards you. Bring your palms together, thumb against the chest as you give the heart a little lift up. Chin towards the thumb. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little practice, and I hope you're feeling great. I'll see you soon.